Welcome to DWI Steelers segment. Fellas, we got a lot to cover. We got a lot to talk about. Listen, we apologize for not being there last week. Something came up, but we're here for you now. So we're going to address everything that happened last week, and we're going to propel you guys into what just happened yesterday. So without further ado, that's Dude, that's Wax, I'm Illy, we are DWI, and this is our Steelers segment. So, Wax, I'm going to start off with you, bro. How you feeling about last week's victory? Because as of right now, correct me when stop me when I go wrong. We're 6-2. Mm-hmm. The only team in our division that's anywhere near close is 5-3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You hear me, dude?
Mm-hmm. And they just lost to the Browns.
So that lets you know that we're at the top of our game, leading our division. But how you feeling about last week's win against the Jets? How'd you feel about Aaron Rodgers out there, man? Now, do you remember in the Raiders episode, we said we owed that cat. When we was talking about the Raiders the last time we was up there with y'all guys in front of your eyes, live coming to you without commercial interruptions, might I add. But no. Do you remember the last thing we talked about was we owe Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, we do.
I remember that.
From the Super Bowl.
Dude, you remember that? We talked about that. Did we get our paybacks?
Yeah, but I mean, it won't be anything better until we beat him in the Super Bowl, but I don't ever see him going ever again with the Jets.
Nah, that ain't going to happen, man.
So this will just have to do.
Right.
But we got our payback.
Hell yeah, we got our paybacks. We ended up beating them motherfuckers' asses last week, man. It was 37-15. Now, you two projected their score was going to be 17. I believe y'all both put 27-17.
Something like that.
And I believe I said 27-7 because I'm always jumping out the window, in which case I've landed on my feet once again this week. So to shout out to y'all out there that love to jump out the window and don't give a shit how you land, because we're definitely trying to land on our feet. But, dude, let me ask you this. So how you feeling about that Jets game?
Oh, I felt good about that one. You know what I mean? Russell Wilson's first game out there. Like I don't know. I think all three of us was thinking that they should have stayed with Fields, but Mike Tomlin made the choice, and it turned out to be the right one. And the offense look a lot better with Russell Wilson out there. So shout out to Russell Wilson for reviving his career right now.
Why do you think that is?
He's just a veteran. He just knows he has more control of the offense, I think. He just knows he can get up at the line and move some plays around, and he throws that deep ball better than anybody, probably damn near ever in the league. And he drops it right in there, right in the pocket where players can get up there and catch it. So shout out to Russell Wilson, man.
Let me ask you this. How was you feeling the first couple of plays when he was out there throwing those ducks on the ground?
I was
nervous.
Yeah. Super nervous. I'm like, all right, here we go, Tomlin.
Listen, we all got in that damn group chat
right,
and explained how we felt at that moment. That was something where we was like, oh, shit. We had to blindly trust that Coach Tomlin was going to make the right idea.
Like, shit was working already.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we were, 4-2 at the time. You know what I mean? Our quarterback at the time Fields wasn't looking too shabby.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? He would, if he had to, he would take off, get the first down, or throw it and shit. So we were looking all right. But, I mean, there is a method to his madness. And, I mean, Tomlin, by putting Russell in, and you know what I mean? There's more to it than just who's the better quarterback.
At that point, I'm sure we all was feeling, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
So, I knew where you were going with that.
Yeah, so Tomlin deserves some credit for that. I mean, he deserves a lot of credit for that, because a lot of people wouldn't have did that. You're 4-2, and the teams, it wasn't looking great, but we were still, Justin Fields, he was still getting better every week. But I get, they see what we don't see. They're in practice. They see, what Russell Wilson really got. So, and it worked out, man, because Russell's opening up the whole defense. You know what I mean? So now I think that's helping Najee run better, because they can't just load the box now. They got to worry about over the top. So
correct.
You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Mike Tomlin for making that decision, man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have did it.
Plus, I think Duve said it earlier, like this year, that there are stipulations to who starts more games and who gets more playing time when it comes to Fields and Russell.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so if Fields, say he started the majority of the games, we would have to give,
Right.
more of a better draft pick.
Right.
Or some shit like that.
I think if he play, I forget what the number is, but if he plays a certain amount, then it goes from a fourth to a third or something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, he had Brewster's million stipulations.
Pretty much.
Like, you got to spend this $30 million in 30 days to get $300 million.
Mm-hmm.
God dang.
Right. So that's probably another reason why he was like, man, we're gonna go with Russell. And
Right.
like I said, Russell's the vet. He has a much better control of the offense, of the, the play call. He looks like he can get up there and make some audibles. He knows when the blitz is coming. So, yeah.
I wish he was a little bit more mobile.
Right.
Though that just avoid that first sack and get rid of the ball.
Right.
Like, even if you throw it out of bounds, just don't take that sack.
Right.
Right.
And that's the part. That's the part that you got to kind of give up. Like, you got to give or take one thing. It's either you Fields his mobility, but he can't really throw the deep ball like that, or you got to deal with Russell's inability to run.
Matter of fact, Wax, I ain't going to tell them shit.
Okay.
Until they do three things.
And what's that?
That's like, share, and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I think you wanted to add on to that too.
Get in that comment section. Let us know what you think. Did Mike Tomlin make the right decision, or did you want to see Fields out there some more, or how you feel about Russell playing? Like,
Right.
Let us know.
And hit that notification bell. So whenever we do post, you guys know it.
Ooh,
Right.
hold on. There it is. Y'all heard it. I know y'all heard it. I mean, y'all heard it. At least y'all heard it. But back to what we were saying. Russell Wilson getting into the lineup definitely changed the dynamics. And so shout out to Pittsburgh for making the needed adjustments when it was time, before we all at home thought it was time. So with that being said, dude, I'm going to come directly at you about last night's victory. How you feeling about that?
I'm feeling good about it. It started out kind of slow. Like, again, we need to figure out a way to start turning these field goals into touchdowns, because you can't keep going all the way down the field. We moved the ball like it wasn't shit, and then had to kick a field goal at the last. You know what I mean? So we got to figure out a way to get them touchdowns. But I feel like that's just a few adjustments that need to be made. Like, if Van Jefferson sits down in the pocket,
Touchdown.
that's a touchdown. So it's like that kind of thing, that continuity between him and Russell.
He's a vet dude, so he hasn't been able to get that cohesiveness with Russ yet.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, once they get together a little bit more, and because it's only the second week they've been out there, and Russell
Right.
really hasn't been playing with the starters at all since camp. So once they get that little continuity, that'll be cleaned up, and then hopefully we can start getting them touchdowns, man. We need those. But other than that, man, I was cool with the game, man. TJ motherfucking Watt.
Bing, 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 bing,
DPOY.
bing, bing, bing.
Man.
Calling it again. Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay, one more time.
DPOY.
Okay. And that's short for Defensive Player of the Year. So
Because he's a fucking animal.
He comes in
and
the
they
clutch.
can't do shit
TJ,
with
take
him.
a bow, my brother. If you're at home right now or somewhere around watching this shot is for you, my brother. Shout out, as my boy Trust would say, all the way down in ATL. But that brother went fucking ballistic, dude.
Right.
The amount of sacks that him and the boy Highsmith was going duo on,
Yeah, they had two apiece.
it's almost like salt and pepper, bruh. Them motherfuckers was going completely crazy because I would see the setup. You had a tight end on the right side where Highsmith was lined up. Then you had a running back on the left side where Watt was lined up.
Right.
Somebody is going to move that running back out of the way and move that quarterback out of his comfort zone.
And on that, the one that TJ got the sack fumble, it was Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen snuck in there and acted like he was getting ready to blitz up the middle. So the running back kind of leaked into the middle, and then
Correct.
if you don't double TJ Watt, especially in that situation, you're asking for trouble. So
Right.
and they didn't.
Backside.
Yeah, you can't have one-on-one, man, with TJ Watt. He's gonna beat any one man. So, and thank God they messed that up.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, they were trying to freeze him out all game. Like, they
Right.
didn't want to run to his side too much. You know
I
what
wonder
mean?
why, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, but they were kind of moving the ball.
Fluidly.
Yeah, and I didn't like that. I was like, man, we need to tighten the line up a little bit. But,
Right.
I mean, we still pulled it off, though.
That boy Taylor, man, he was running.
Tracy.
That boy Tracy was running like he had no regards for anybody that was in front of him.
Yeah, he peeled off a 145.
Yeah.
He ran with reckless abandonment. You dig what I'm saying, dude?
7.2 a scrape. So he did his thing. He did his thing, but all for nothing.
So what you're saying is in a losing effort.
Exactly, because
Okay.
your boy Najee and you got his jersey on. We
Cool.
listen. I let me say this now.
Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
Shout out Najee.
Okay,
we
for
gave
what?
we gave you a lot of shit, but 300-yard games in a row. Take my hats off to you.
You damn right you taking your hat
I
off.
never lied about you. You was playing like shit,
No.
but now you
So-
did your damn thing. Shout out to you. Keep it going.
So what he's saying out there, my brother Naj, is it's awesome in Narnia, where he said that you and I was at because he said you was stuck in the damn mud, like what's his name?
Like Artex.
Right. So
I'm going to be honest. We needed this shit 2 or 3 years ago. Every goddamn
it
game.
don't matter what it.
Yes,
listen,
it does matter.
This
It
is how
matters.
I like to look at it, Wax.
I don't care how you like to look at it. He's
Damn.
listen.
You was acting like Morris Day when
I
it came to
don't-
fucking concert time.
I don't care how you
Slice
perceive
it.
this. He's costing us shit. Like, we need a better running back. Period. Because maybe I'm spoiled because we had Bell for so many years and he was producing every goddamn game. Like, we haven't played a great defense yet. We played decent defenses. But, I'm waiting to see what he does when we play, the Ravens or somebody worth a damn.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
I'm not ready to, just flip-flop on my opinion on him. I think he's straight, but, we need something better.
I mean, the brother did have a $114 last night.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But can he consistently do that
If he
throughout the
wants to.
year? Then why hasn't he been doing it?
I don't know.
That's the question.
Like I said, I don't take nothing back that I said because he really wasn't playing well and hasn't been. But you know what I mean, when you get 100-yard games in a row, I got to give it up to you. I just need to see you keep doing that because now is the middle of the season. But like Wax said, we got some juggernauts coming up, and we need you. We're gonna need you to keep doing that. You know what I mean? We got the Ravens, even though their defense is down this year. They've been getting gashed, but you see Jameis Winston ate the niggas up. I'm like, ugh.
But see, you're right though, because the defender should have had that pick and ended the game.
True.
But he dropped it and he didn't, and Jameis Winston ate that W on with that weird shit.
Bit the hell out of that W, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
That motherfucker put some barbecue sauce on his W and ate the hell out of that
That was
shit.
some weird shit, but that's my old quarterback from Florida State, so
It's hard to hate Jameis. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to hate
He's a
him.
positive guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's so positive that it's hard to hate him, but it is super corny sometimes. But you can't hate him.
He be like, why you hate me, brother?
Right. Yeah, he make me feel bad.
And then he'd be like, hold on, man. Hey, let's pray for this brother. And then
he's like your country cousin.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's just a little bit different.
Right.
But I fucks with him, but he plays for the Browns, so
Right.
Until we whoop their ass, he's all good with me.
Right. But I will say this. In a situation like that, I'm representing. I told you and y'all at home, that I'm not putting his jersey back on until he gets over $1 consecutively. This is the 3rd week. So when I say that I'm wheeling Wax and or dealing, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. You hear me? This is what enables me to wear this shirt. Why do you think I wear this shirt?
Swear to God, I hope you wear it all year round.
Oh, I'm going to as long as you out there, my brother, keep doing what you do. That means putting your shit in the group and getting your poop together. Or put your poop in a group and keep your shit together. So, with that being said, shout out to my boy Najee Harris, man, because he's running like a 6-foot running back should fucking run.
He's running like, this is my last year. I got to prove something.
Hey.
He kept playing for his dinner. I ain't mad at that. I ain't never been mad at that.
Right.
And hey, you know, if you can get out there and get you a meal out of it,
right.
Shout out to you. If you do good enough, and the Steelers, they still might bring you back. So. And where somebody else is, it's all your resume getting out there. So if somebody else wants a big, slow ass back, it's like, if somebody else wants a big back that can, that can grind the ball out, you're gonna make some money.
Right. I want to send a shout out to the receiving corps.
Okay.
And Russell, man, them motherfuckers hung in there, man. The boy Calvin Austin, the third. You better put that fucking third on there. That's what he's asking.
Right. Yeah.
That's what until he ain't asking. Now I'm telling you, it's Calvin Austin the third.
Right.
That motherfucker finished with some serious stats. He won 3 for 54 and a punt return. That punt return was clutch.
He had a touch. Yeah. He had another touchdown.
Yeah, he had a receiving touchdown too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, he had 2 touchdowns from 2 different situations.
That punt return was clutch. That changed the whole game.
It rocked the momentum and it shifted it.
Right. I think the refs helped us out on that one because he definitely roughed the kicker on that one. I don't know how they didn't see that, but thank you, refs. He finally gave us one.
It was a no call. It was a makeup.
Yeah, because it could have went either way. You could tell he kind of flopped into it,
right.
But he was down by his legs.
Right.
Going through his legs.
He's biting me. Right. He's biting me.
And usually we get called for those, so it was a nice surprise to see us not get no penalty on that one because usually they'll get us.
Right.
Yeah. That George Pickens touchdown that got called out. It was a good call, but I'm
man, did y'all see that at the crib? Wax, did you see that?
Hell yeah,
dude,
I saw that.
Do you see how technology has gotten to the point where they can see you put your right foot down twice?
Yeah.
And I always thought that was a catch.
I did too.
What if you put one foot down twice?
Yeah, I thought that was 2 feet.
Both feet down, but I mean apparently not.
Right.
Y'all niggas had that shit mistaken for the hokey pokey. You put your left foot in and you put your right foot out. That's what y'all thought that was. Everybody in America knows that you gotta get both feet down.
No, everybody in America doesn't know that. The people, the motherfuckers at the broadcast didn't even know that.
They knew it.
No, they didn't.
Well,
Troy Aikman was saying he didn't know that.
I knew it.
Okay.
I knew you had to get both feet down. That's been the rule since junior high.
Okay.
So I knew it,
true.
and I'm sure a
not
lot of
right.
them
That's
knew
not junior high either. Because
one
foot in junior high.
Since
and
junior
college.
high, it's not 1 foot.
Yes, it is.
Everything has changed.
So here you go.
I'm just saying, catch up with the time, fellas. Everything has changed. So you know what hasn't changed? The ability to like, share, and subscribe this bad fella. Because if they help us keep it moving along, they'll be able to add their opinions in on how they feel about the situation on what I'm saying.
Right.
I know for a fact that everybody at home, because our viewers are smart. You know why? Because they tune in. Mm-hmm. And I got a bunch of them out there that will and or deal, Wax. And I got a bunch of these motherfuckers out there that love to sit on that window ledge, dude. You know that window ledge where the bird got that nest at on the side? And I get up there as I pat you 2 youngsters on the head and say, you precocious little youngsters. And I get on that window ledge and I scoot halfway out.
And then you poop. You scoot halfway out and then you drop a couple bombs.
And then I jump.
Right into it. Feet first in your own poop.
That's fucked up, man. You won't even let me get my shit.
I'm not, because you have to pat us on the head like 2 youngsters.
All right.
The hell on.
Then before I leave and go to the service and see my 2 little brothers sitting there wondering what's gonna happen to their big brother, and I tell them, hey, stop that crying.
Low brother.
Hey, you 2, stop all that crying. And I get my ass right on the edge of that window and jump straight out of that shit and tell you motherfuckers exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. My damn bracelet fucking flew off. And if you slow it down at home, you'll see that this slid off my wrist. But dude, I said it, and I mean that shit, Wax. I said, we're gonna lose 1 game, maybe 2. Maybe 2. We ain't losing Shit. Sorry. We ain't losing shit, man. You got me all fucking. We ain't losing shit else. You hear me? Y'all hear me at home? We're not. Cause we're locked in and ready to go. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, man.
All right, well, in the real world, we got a super tough schedule. So like we can go through it at least the next couple of games.
Well, please do.
We got the bye week coming up, and then we got Washington, who's 6-2.
That doesn't scare me.
And they're not bad. They're nice actually.
With the new quarterback
with Daniels. Then we got the Ravens, and they're still the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Their defense, like I said, their defense ain't really doing what they're supposed to do. But Derrick Henry, they give Derrick Henry the ball, and the way that Tracy ran on us, we got to tighten some shit up before we play them because that's going to be a hard fight. And then we got the Browns after that, who are better now that Deshaun Watson's out.
What did I say at home? I told y'all that the Cleveland Browns are the second best team in our division.
This man is crazy.
Right.
No, you're not.
I'm right. Once again, y'all see me be right.
You making us look crazy by saying all this crazy shit.
Because, like, that's not the truth.
I'm right, but go ahead, dude.
I'm done because you ruined what I wanted to say by that horse shit.
I'm sorry, dude. but the viewers at home, they kind of want you to continue.
That's all I had. I was just going to do the next 3 games. So.
All right, we'll go on and continue. I won't add my...
We got
Browns. Washington, we have the Ravens, and we have the Browns.
Yeah.
Right.
And all 3 of them are going to be hard games.
Right.
I think we're going to run through the Commanders. I think we're going to be able to stabilize that damn front line. I think we're going to make the adjustments that are necessary up front. That way they have no other recourse but to run outside or hit the edges. You know who's waiting out there. You know, I think we should be able to stabilize them early and then let our offense do what the fuck it came to do. You know, George Pickens is out there acting like, you know, he wants to be that guy.
Right.
So, you know, only thing we can do as fans and Steeler Nation out there is support the brother, man. Support all of the guys in their endeavors because here's the thing. We can wheel this win. I'm not worried about Washington. I'm not worried about fucking Cleveland. And I'm not worried about Baltimore or Baltimore.
Right.
However you want to, slice it. I can't wait until this regular season shit is over so I can A, say that I was right, and B,
man, I'm just
trying
to take this thing one game at a time, man. Like you know what I mean? Like, cause like I said, Washington's not. They're good. 6-2 is 6-2. That's just
I get it. We're 6-2.
I know. We're a good team, and they're a good team. So it's like you don't know if you're gonna beat that ass like that.
This is what I keep saying from the beginning of the year. We're a new team. Like, we're still trying to mold and get everybody in position to play.
Right. I agree.
Like we're still new and we're winning at at a high rate, which is pretty decent.
Because we play high octane football, Wax. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part we do. But what I'm saying is, like, we just put another quarterback in after 6 games?
Right.
So, like, now it's kind of like we're resetting, our offense, and we're looking pretty good right now.
Well, I feel like we're displaying our weapons because there was a couple times I felt like on that short yardage when we was by the end zone on the 10, on the 5, ready to go in, switch up, put Justin Fields in there.
Right.
You know why? Because a smart coach is going to load that box. And when you do, throw that little fucking pass to Fryer move like you got some sense.
Yeah, I'd like to see some more packages for Justin Fields. But, I mean, he was hurt this week. But
here's the thing. What was he doing, bro? Was he pushing that same sled that Russell Wilson was pushing? Like, is that a regiment when you're not starting to push that damn...
Right.
You got some guy named Sling Blade over there in the cut like, well, you gonna push this sled or you going home? Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I don't know. He tweaked his hamstring, so...
Are they passing out groin injuries up at the Browns?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing because they've had so many damn hamstring tears and groin pulls this year. It's like, what the fuck?
Everybody gets a free hamstring fucking punch. Like, what the fuck?
Let me ask y'all this: do you think they'll start putting in packages to where both of them are on the field?
I hope so. I know
at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'll do that. I don't know.
Like a trick play maybe, or
right.
You throw it to him, he throws it. You know what I mean? Something like that.
If Arthur Smith is smart, he'll draw something up to that effect, Wax. That's a good question, and that's something that I couldn't wait to see.
Yeah, I would like to see
a little flea flicker or something to that sort, because Justin can really boogie.
Right.
So it's not like you're basically passing it back to a guy or flicking it back to a guy that can't pass.
Right.
He's a good quarterback that can throw far.
Right.
And Russ is too, so it doesn't matter. But I just rather Justin being the one getting the flea flick to him. That way he can utilize his feet.
Right.
Because he's a double threat. He's a dual threat. Let's be honest.
But if you know Arthur Smith, he's not that type of dude. Like he doesn't really draw up any tricky stuff. He's pretty straightforward. Like line up, run the ball, play action, throw it over the top.
You never know.
You never know. But like if you've seen his history, I don't really see him drawing up nothing wild like that. But everybody can change.
I was going to say, he never been in this position before where he has two great quarterbacks.
Right.
One that can scramble, one that can touch pass. You know, it would be kind of dope.
It would be crazy.
You know what I mean? But it was just a question. I don't know if he'll do it or not. I would like to see it.
Right.
But
let me draw the shit up. I had that motherfucker running the first time, then taking him out, and then I'll run that motherfucker the very next, like, as soon as we get the first down.
That nigga feels crippled out there when he plays, man.
Y'all see how it is. So listen, hear me out. I'm going to run that motherfucker on the quarterback keeper. He's going to keep that bitch going around the end. He's going to get a first down because that's what he does. Then I'm going to take him out. I'm gonna run a couple regular plays and put him back in. Oh, shit, here it come. That motherfuckers is going to get ready for that run. Over the top we go. And you know what that's called? That's called rocking the baby.
Even if they threw him out there just for a decoy.
They could.
You know what I mean? Like, I would still love to see that because now you're implementing two quarterbacks at the same damn time, and you're keeping them engaged.
You know what that's called, Wax? That's called utilizing your strengths. So I would like to see that happen in a situation like that.
Right.
Now, maybe we don't want to show that some bitch right now, but
wait till the playoffs or something. But like at the same time, like I don't know, because if it goes bad, it can go real bad.
Real bad.
so
you don't run that motherfucker when you're down by fucking 7.
Right.
You run that bitch when you up by 14.
Right.
Trying to make a motherfucking point out there.
Put the dagger in them.
I got one more question.
Go ahead.
How do you guys feel like Justin Fields' confidence is? Like, where do you think his confidence is right now?
Because I think it's a plan. I think they all know what's going on, and it's nobody's business what they talk about in their locker room. Flat out.
And if you see him on the sideline, he doesn't look like he's down. Him and Russ are laughing and having a good time, and he's got the clipboard, and him and Russ is talking over some plays. So the opposite of Kenny Smith, the opposite of Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Smith out there, right?
No, but because remember when Kenny Pickett, when they asked him, like, did you learn anything from Mason? He was like, no. Mm-hmm. Being a fucking jerk. But when they asked Justin Fields, like, what do you feel about being taken out? He's like, well, I didn't play well enough, and I just got to get better.
Well,
it's classy. You know what I mean? Like, you can't ask for a better teammate than that.
I was going to say, also, he's getting paid to, be a cheer. I was about to say, so it can't get easier than that.
Or he could have knew the camera was on him, and you know how that shit is. Like, this is some bullshit, man. Boy, I'm mad as fuck right now, man. You don't even listen. And this is just like, you don't even know how fucking mad I am. I'm ready to fucking break somebody's hips. Straight up and down, man. Russell. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they got you in that motherfucker, man. Just smiling like, I can't believe it, man. You know I'm beating your ass after the game, right? You know I'm beating that ass after the game for real, though. I mean this, so call somebody. Because this is happening. But nah, man, them guys are both good sports, man. It's all in jokes, fellas. But I will say that was a good question, Wax, because you seen that brother looking like he was the future. And that's the only way you can do it. Not looking like quarterbacks from the past that pouted when it wasn't their time to shine. Right. By actually exemplifying what it takes to be that guy who's up next.
Right.
My dad used to always have a saying, accept my no like you accept my yes. And I know I probably said this before, but it's one of the dopest things he could have ever taught me. Because he taught me how to be okay with the word no.
Right.
a lot of motherfuckers hear that and have a nervous breakdown.
I was gonna say, and he didn't give you an option to not respect it.
No,
you know what I mean, like
at least in front of him,
right? Like if it was a no, it was gonna be a no.
But my dumb ass took it like he wanted me to smile about it. Like, Dad, can I go out tonight? No,
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. This is good because I wanted to go out very bad, but like now I see that I should be happy and blessed. So I'm happy. Like no, it wasn't that type of deal. But he taught me the understanding of the word no and what it exemplified because everything's not a yes.
Right.
Because it's not your time. Right. It could be a position at work that you were looking to get. It could be something in life, a person that you was looking to be with. It could be, something in school. It could be one of those things that you look for that there's an entitlement that comes along with it that you feel like you deserve it. But you got to be able to accept the word no, or it's not your time yet, or whatever comes with it. Right.
And then take it and make a lesson out of it and learn and
build off.
If you would have played, if Fields would have played lights out, he wouldn't have went to Russ. But he gave him the reason. He left the door open for for him to put Russ in. That was on him, and he realized that. That's why I like about Justin Fields. Like he's like, okay, and hopefully he's learning how to throw that. I want him to learn how to throw that deep, that moon ball that Russell
Russ
throws.
Ain't gonna teach him with shit because that motherfucker, when he threw that bitch to Van Jefferson, that motherfucker looked like he was running in quicksand and caught that motherfucker over the shoulder.
Yeah,
that's that shit you talking about.
That moon ball, that shit drops right down like. I mean, he putting them shit on the dime. Yeah,
he's putting it in the basket.
Like, how you throw that pass,
where Fields is just throwing it on the rope. It's more like a laser.
Yeah.
But I said this to Dude yesterday. I think it's because he has a background in baseball.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Anybody that knows how to throw that pop up.
Or anything. From the outfield to the catcher type shit. You got to put that shit right on the nose. Boop. You know what I mean? I wasn't that great. I'm not going to sit here and act like I could do that shit. Right. But I think it was his baseball background that molded him into throwing the deep ball and dropping that shit in the bucket. Because he was putting them motherfuckers only where the receiver could catch that shit. And if you watch the film, that shit's hard to do.
Right.
I heard that brother still takes his baseball glove to the game and stuff. Like he, runs around with his baseball. Nah, I'm bullshit.
I was like, I don't know where you heard that shit from.
But dig it. I can see Justin that, hey, can you teach me how to throw that ball? You ever play baseball?
Nah.
Nah, man. You would have had to play baseball because that's something we learned out there on the diamond, man. So hey, man, do what you do, man. Be good, man. Okay, all right now. We'll throw that motherfucker 90 yards right into the fucking basket, man.
But I like the way that he's actually trusting because it seems like Justin Fields didn't trust himself enough to throw those passes to George Pickens. And everybody else, I like the way that Russell is. He's trusting everybody. Like, you're going to go, I'm throwing it to you, go get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm going to throw it. I'm going to let it go. It could be picked because it's going to be, 50-50. I'm trusting you to go get it. And that rejuvenates your wide receivers when your quarterback trusts you to go get it and you go get it. That just makes everybody feel better. That makes everybody more excited to get out there and run routes.
Right. And he's not going to stop throwing them after you go get it.
Right.
The one thing I would like to see more is get Freiermuth involved a little bit more.
Yeah.
But what about he spread it out, though. He really did spread it out.
What about that other big fella that was just jumping over motherfuckers?
Dang.
Yeah,
Washington.
That motherfucker looked like his name is Jonathan Dennis Henry.
Man.
He looked like fucking John Henry running down that
He's a fucking freight train, man.
Yes, he is, man.
He put that stiff arm out. I was like, oh, shit, he got some shit with him. Like, he actually plays like a goddamn tight end.
Right. He's athletic, big as fuck. Like, If we could get him more involved, like you said, like he could be like a Gronk. I wouldn't put him in Gronk's category yet, but you know what I'm saying, like
that's like throwing a ball to the Hulk. Like that motherfucker be like, Hulk with ball now.
Right. And who's gonna say no? Like him against a DB,
here you go.
It's a wrap.
That's a win 99% of the time.
Right.
That DB's gonna get hurt at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he's gonna stop trying to dive at his legs and shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Let me ask y'all this. What about y'all's boy on the line? He keeps getting these goddamn penalties.
I'm gonna let Duve answer first.
Who's that?
You know,
Jones.
You know who it is.
Jones.
Broderick.
Yeah, Broderick. You gotta clean some shit up, bro. Like you've been out there looking like a liability at times, man. Sometimes you look all right. I watch, but sometimes, man, you just make these penalties that are just drive killers, man.
He got a touchdown call, man.
I know.
That
That was totally unnecessary. Like you already had him blocked. Russell was already moving out. You grabbing his face mask didn't make the play at all. So, like, you know, you got to clean that up. We got to clean up them penalties.
I appreciate you addressing the line, because you are the line coach right now.
You know, I pay attention to him. I think he gets a lot more shit than he deserves, though.
Because you was like, it wasn't his fault.
No, I never said that. I didn't.
But truth be told, he gets a lot of shit because he gets a lot of penalties.
Right.
If you clean that up, they could actually see his ability to block and hold the block. But he's shooting himself in the foot.
Right.
Even if the refs are picking on him, kind of.
You know what I think it is?
You got to clean that shit up, bro.
You know what I think it is, Wax? He needs to be less lazy.
It could be.
Those are lazy penalties.
It could be.
Those are lazy penalties, dude, that you get from misappropriated steps, from not doing what you're supposed to do, what they train you to do.
Right.
He's big for a reason. He's not big for nothing.
Right.
So he needs to get his shit in gear, man.
He is playing out of position. You know what I mean? I get it. And he's played right or left tackle his whole life. And
so you mean to tell me a tackle isn't?
No, this is two different. It's two different skills.
I understand that.
Some
but
are, but not most.
If you're a tackle, I feel like you should be able to play that position.
Not everybody can do that.
I was gonna say some are interchangeable, but a lot of them aren't, because like you spend 90% of your time stepping to the left and getting your hands up and shit, and then you put them on the right. They don't know what to do.
Right.
They fall for the
That's why they get paid the most money, dude. So I beg to differ. But we can agree to disagree, so you can go ahead and, sleep a little bit better because you had to fucking discipline one of your linemen, man. Listen, without them, dude, my guys can't produce. If y'all guys didn't understand this by now, I'm the running back coach, that's the line coach, and he's the DB receiver and line coach. He wants to make all the fucking adjustments. That's Mr. Miyagi's little brother. So, with that being said,
no, the thing about Jones is they drafted him to be the left tackle. I'm sorry, they drafted him to be the left tackle, but Dan Moore played terrible his first 2 years, but Dan Moore came out as one of the best tackles in the league right now. So, what are you gonna do? Take him out to put Jones in there, and then they tried to bench Jones for Fautanu, but then he gets hurt for the rest of the year. So now they're forced to have him out there because they don't really have anybody else to replace him with. So you just got to deal with Jones, and hopefully he gets better.
But if he does get better, just think about the weapon that he becomes that we can utilize.
I mean, but like you would think he would get better faster, like. But
what he said.
I mean,
But you know how Duve is. Don't be yelling at them boys now.
Nah. You can only do what you can do. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you are what you are, and you just got to deal with it.
I don't put limits to our Steelers, man. Once you become a Steeler, man, you got to dig a little bit deeper, man. That purse and that bag that everybody carries around with their problems in it, that motherfucker's not shallow. That some bitch is deep.
Right.
So when you want to overcome adversity, Wax, you got to dig a little bit deeper.
I feel you.
You dig?
I agree.
I agree. I totally agree.
What's the difference? And I'm gonna ask you.
I'm not making no excuses for him. I'm giving you reasons for why he's not as good as he's supposed to be. But it's not excuses. Like it's not an excuse.
But nah, man. I mean, I can respect it, man. It's one of those things. It's a double-edged sword because he is out of position, but at the same time, he is getting paid a nice little percentage to do what he does. So why not do that to the best of your ability? At that point, you raise your fucking earnings by producing who and what you are to the people that matter.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Become
I get it.
A viable asset to where if you did want to move and we did need a right or left tackle, Let's get that motherfucker from Pittsburgh because he started out as a left tackle, then they moved him to right, and then he mastered that position.
Right.
Let's not add limitations onto life more than there already is. So, with that being said, I think he needs to step it up a lot.
Oh, I do too.
Stop
I
being
agree.
lazy and get your shit together.
I agree.
Now, I will say this. Shout out to that offense as far as the receiving core. And I think you brought up something earlier as far as we need to get one more receiver, one more marquee receiver. And you said you give up a trade and you agreed.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm not in that position to say that. I feel like we should be able to get our guys that we already have and mold them into the receivers we need them to be.
But this goes back to, like I said, like some players are just who they're gonna be, and like if you can go get somebody that's better than the guys you got, why not? Because I don't think we can win a Super Bowl with the receivers we got, but we have a good enough team that you add one more, not even a superstar receiver, but you add a Darius Slayton, like who just diced us up last night. You add somebody like that to the team. That puts us in a much, much better position.
I would agree with you, but nobody knew Antonio Brown was going to be who he was being drafted.
Well, we don't have Antonio Brown on the team.
I'm not saying we are, dude.
And
all I'm saying is,
and don't bring Antonio Brown up into this situation at all.
Deep.
Damn. You basically telling me I can't bring up.
You can't because we don't have an Antonio Brown on the team.
I'm just saying if they didn't know what they had at that point in time, maybe we have another scenario to where we have somebody that has that could be Antonio Brown-esque. You know, I'm putting a lot of my money into Calvin Austin III, Inc.
I don't see it. I mean, Calvin Austin is nice.
I'm putting a couple coins into that. Van Jefferson, I want to see how that pans out.
I mean, he's a vet, so he has tape, but we know what he is. So he's not Antonio. You're not going to just harness Antonio Brown out of that.
I'm not saying that you got to do that, and y'all see the way that this dude's an asshole.
No, because you over as wishing and hoping for Antonio Brown to come back.
Phil wants homegrown glory. He wants homegrown, like we draft him.
What's
he comes
wrong
up.
with that?
There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm used to it because I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan, and that's what we do. We don't go out drafting everybody.
I'm saying
y'all
got the number one guy in the league.
Okay, and then we build around that. We don't just go out and try to get the next big name. We want to make the assets we got into bigger assets.
Aldridge.
Here you go.
You stole Aldridge from us, thank goodness.
We didn't steal him. Y'all motherfuckers gave him to us. Listen. Y'all left him on our porch and shit with a note under his chin.
It was a poison pill. But anyway, go ahead, Wax.
No, I was just going to say, I understand, like, you want us to have superstar in the making.
Be responsible for your own product.
But at the same time, it doesn't always work like that.
It doesn't, but with the recipe we're cooking up right now, I think it does, fellas.
I just don't think. I think, man, we don't have enough time to see.
Okay, well then who would you want to see?
Like I said, I would say Slayton.
Okay.
Or Mike Williams from the Jets. Somebody that's just a solid receiver. Like I said, we don't need a superstar. We got George Pickens, just somebody that's on the opposite of George Pickens that can
want more money.
Even if they want more money,
take a little relief. Take a little attention off of George.
Right.
I think the guys that are in there are making a significant stance for themselves.
Because a good receiver would have stopped in that and got that touchdown.
Maybe next week he might. Maybe he might do it twice.
Maybe he doesn't.
And his dad is a coach, so he should have known better.
Okay, I mean, shit. I mean, the dude is out there with a brand new team, man. Cut him some slack. Because y'all motherfuckers be the first ones asking for a fucking pity
I'm not saying he's trash, but I'm just saying, like, another receiver would help. You don't think another receiver would help?
I feel like we need to keep the guys that are in there and mold them into the guys that we need them to be.
We don't have time to mold niggas.
Done that a million times.
It's the middle of the season. It's the middle of the season. We don't have time to mold nobody.
Dude, we do have enough time to let them guys be
We have the last part of our schedule is not to be molding people. You need people that's already there.
I'm sorry that you motherfuckers are afraid, but I'm not scared. So with
it ain't scared. It's just common sense to make your team better when you have the chance.
Sorry, I don't have. Man, Fuck you.
It's common sense.
No,
He's like, I want to be regular. Damn it, I'm gonna stick on I want to be extra mediocre.
Is that me, y'all? Y'all know that ain't me.
This
Because
ain't making.
look, and then you go ahead and wiggle your fist into that. With that being said, we'll agree to disagree. But we do know this. Next week, rent is due.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to lead it off with the predictions. I'm saying we're going to beat that ass.
All right.
So jumping out the window like I do, 26-14, us.
Okay. Go ahead, Wax.
I'm going to say 24-13.
I'm going to say 27-20.
Who?
Steelers.
Okay.
I'm saying we're going to win.
Okay.
27-20. It's going to be a close one.
All right, so you know what y'all need to do. Y'all need to lock in down here and tell us who you think is going to win. But before you do that, before anybody does anything, we want to thank you guys for continuously coming on this journey with us. No bullshit. We love you. We appreciate you guys tuning in every week or when we drop new material just to see what we got to say next. So we thank you guys from the bottom of our heart. And the best is still to be seen. So with that being said, you know what they say, dude.
What's that?
All good things must come to an end. So with that being said, Wax, we're going to come straight back at these cats.
When?
Same motherfucking time.
All right.
Same location.
Right.
But it's going to be a whole bunch of different material.
Okay.
So until then, peace.
Hey, number one in the North.
Shout out Steeler Nation.
Steelers, Steelers, Steelers.